sucker for love. And in this world full of suckers, you fit mine like a glove. The fit is perfect, but nobody above, yeah. The clock's ticking as the time flies by. We in two different worlds, but living the same life. Two different dreams, you make me feel so alive. Need you by my side, need you by my side. Just a power couple daily blowing off steam. Making love to you so damn seamlessly. We be doing it so damn frequently. Easy cause we on the same damn frequency. Take it to the Sunset Boulevard. Little mama says she wanna tag along. She don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. Yeah, we'd always get along. Even through the downs, gotta stay strong. Now we singing the same song. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. I think about you daily. So baby girl, don't play me. All I ever, yeah, is think about you. They call me Dan, the Lakers DTLF. And I got a master plan for the Lakers back to the promised land. Spread the vision through my people, cause we fans are equal. When we reach 20K subs, yeah, we gon' drop a sequel. Another Laker anthem track, watch me run it back. Got the keys to the city where my Laker jet.
What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another video, man. We got a banger today because we're going to talk about the Lakers offseason as a whole, honestly, because there's not a lot of people being honest about this offseason, the way it has gone, how disappointed it has been, and also how exciting, next season is going to be and all that. So I want to break it down for you guys, from coaching to obviously the draft to everything, and then also a couple of updates here and there, man. But good to see you guys, man. We're about a month out from a little more than a month, like a month and a couple of days from getting preseason basketball action, ladies and gentlemen. So very, very excited. Good to see you, Jason, Ronnie, Rubio, Kimiko, Jason Black. Good to see you all, man. But let's start off with the topic at hand, all right? The honest Lakers offseason grades. And I want to talk about, first off, the coaching additions. Because let's be honest, there was a couple of coaching additions that we had, starting with J.J. Redick, right? The 29th head coach in Lakers history, right? Who was hired on June 24th. June 2024. We signed him to a 4-year deal worth about $8 million per season. So if it was just based off of that, then I would have gave it a C at best, because we don't know what to expect. But I'm gonna grade this whole thing, the coaching additions as a whole, because there were some really good assistants we hired. Let's start with Nate McMillan, former NBA player and head coach, who was hired as an assistant. Definitely has a lot of experience, especially in the Western Conference. And Scott Brooks, right? Scott Brooks, another former player and head coach. Now, another assistant that I really love, his time with OKC is very underrated, especially for what the Lakers are trying to do this offseason. So we're going to start with the good grades, and then it's going to go downhill from there. I want to let you guys know, just a trigger warning, okay? So those are the good grades. We get a B plus again. Looks like a great player development staff. Also, we hired Lindsey Harding, who, by the way, is the first female assistant coach for the Lakers. Another ex-player who played basketball at Duke and in the WNBA, including for the Sparks. We hired Dane Johnson, right, the head coach of the Lakers Summer League. So our staff is pretty well rounded, and I really like it. And that's the reason I had to give it a B plus, to be honest. What grade would you guys give the coaching staff acquisitions this summer? Remember, these grades are only for the summer, so we're not going to get into everything. But yeah, I think B plus is fair. And I'm actually more excited for the assistants than I am for the head coach. I feel more reassured that we'll have a better season now that we got those guys with some tremendous experience. So major shout out to the assistant coaching staff. So you guys go ahead and give me your grades. Let me know what you guys thought of the entire coaching staff. So my guy says A plus. Jason Black thinks we will win 48 wins, one more than last season. I actually think we'll get to 50 at least. I think my prediction was, I forgot what my prediction video was, but you can go ahead and check that out. But I think it was over 50 for sure. So we'll go with that. Next up, we want to talk about the draft additions that we had this summer. All right. Let's start with Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect led Summer League scores. for all rookies at 21 points per game. He was highly impressive, and I think he's going to translate really well. It's starting from this season, whether he averages 10 to 15 minutes off the bench or whatever the coaching staff decides to give him. I think he's going to do really good. So between him and Bronny, we didn't really reach for Bronny either. We ended up drafting him at the 55th pick, so I'm not too mad at it. Actually, a lot of people thought we won the draft based off of Dalton. So, I'm going to say a B. I'm going to say a B for the draft additions this offseason, right? And we're going to round it all up and give it a grade by the end of this video for the entire offseason. But right now we're doing each category. What do you guys think? A B sounds fair for this draft. We did get a very good player. Some call him the steal of the draft. He is a little bit on the older side, so his upside and potential isn't as great as the younger players. But I still think he's going to be very good and maybe even a candidate in the running for Rookie of the Year. What's up, KD? Good to see you, my boy. Would you want one of those ex-coaches instead of JJ? To be honest with you, the reason I feel safe is if JJ doesn't do a great job, we have somebody on the roster already that can step up. But I know JJ's going to do a decent job at least because he has his work ethic is second to none, man. Jeannie Buss recently had an interview where she was raving about JJ Redick. She said, "I'm excited about our new coach, JJ Redick, and I can sit here and tell you how great it's going to be basketball-wise, but I really want the opportunity just for the team to play basketball, and that will tell the story." Right? She also went on to talk about the young players, which is what we're talking about right now. She said, "But we're excited about our draft picks, Dalton Connect, who we didn't think would be available at 17. I agree. And, of course, Bronny James, who played at USC. So we're excited about the young guys, which is going to lead to another question coming up in a completely different grade. But, yeah, so far, again, back to the players, the draft additions, I'm going to say a B is very fair. It could go up. Obviously, the draft grade could go up if Dalton ends up becoming a big part of this rotation. But, man, I am very excited for the young core, not just the draft picks, but obviously Austin Reeves taking another step forward potentially this year. Extremely excited about, obviously, Max Christie is a name I feel like everybody's talking about this offseason. Even Austin Reeves, who properly predicted a breakout regular season for D'Lo last year, has predicted that this year, it will be Max Christie. So I'm very excited for Max. Let's see what he's got. People have been raving about, about those young players and the work ethic they've been putting in. And we'll get a little into that later. But now let's talk about, and this is where the honesty comes into play. I'm always honest. But the lack of summer moves this year, guys, I have to keep it frank with you. Now I'm going to grade that aspect of the offseason. And I gotta go with it. I gotta go with an F. All right. The lack of moves that we have made up to this point. Now, granted, there could still be something else that could be done from here till the start of the season, but it's not very likely. Usually around this time, everybody's starting to settle in. Some of the teams are starting to get the scraps, as far as like the leftover players. The lack of summer moves has been disgusting. And I will say this. In my life of being a Laker fan, my entire life, right, of being a Laker fan, right, 28 years and count, 27, 28 years and counting, I've never seen this much lack of sense of urgency when you got two megastars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I haven't seen it. That is why the grade is this bad. Now usually, especially in the gym, in the Dr. Buss, right, the Jerry Buss era, if we lost or even got gentlemen swept in the first round of a playoff series, we would turn around and make instant moves the concurring summer. And we haven't made anything. Really, the only moves we made were the summer moves, which was the draft picks and re-upping Max Christie and some of our guys that opted in. That's it. So I am extremely disappointed in Rob Pelinka in our front office because they haven't really secured. They haven't made me feel safe about this season. I'm still excited. Don't get it wrong. We're still going to be hyped. There's a lot of things to look forward to. New coaching staff, young players Players that have already been there that are going to take it to the next level, potentially Rui, Austin, guys like that, Vando defensively. A lot of things to be excited about. But this summer was anticlimactic. It just was. I can't wait for it to be over. That's how bad it was. Matter of fact, this was probably the summer that I put out the least amount of content. And it's due to the fact that I told you guys I would never clickbait you guys. Due to the fact that there was no moves. It was dry as the hot desert. It was like Phoenix, Arizona out here, man. During the summer. Literally, not a single trade. Literally, not a single free agent acquisition. It's been bad. And so, if I'm grading the moves individually this offseason, we have to keep it real. It is a straight up F. It is a disappointment, and it actually lands Rob Pelinka in the hot seat if nothing happens leading up to the trade deadline. It just really does, right? It just does. And so that leads me to my next grade, and that is our general manager of basketball operations, Rob Pelinka. This offseason, you get an F minus, sir. That's worse. That's worse. That's a lot worse. And I'm telling you right now, Rob Pelinka, and the reason I'm so disgruntled with him is not because I don't feel like we have a formidable roster. We do. We have a roster that can compete in the West. I won't say win a championship, but for sure we can compete and maybe come out of the West if everything goes right. Coaching has to go right. The young players have to, development has to be a sped up process. The role players have to step up and not be hurt. So many different things have to happen in order for, the Lakers to do extremely well. But Rob Pelinka hasn't helped his case at all with us. As a matter of fact, he's hurt his case because, remember, last trade deadline, he said they look forward to the summer. Summer's almost over. We got a little bit over a month ago. And, yeah, my guy said a Z minus. Katrina, what's up, Katrina? She said, hi, Dan. You keep it real. Summer bummer, fun metal game with Dan on playback, summer Lakers bummer. But by the way, Katrina, the content is about to go crazy starting next month because we're going to have a lot more to break down. Matter of fact, here we have some things after the grading process that I'm going to go ahead and break down with you guys. So very excited. Got new segments coming to the channel starting this upcoming season. Just so much to look forward to, and I cannot wait. And by the way, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Much love, Katrina. Thank you so much for the support all summer long, guys. You guys have been phenomenal. Those of you that have been with me on playback, whether it's the gaming stuff, whether it's been good take, bad take, or throwback Thursdays, whatever. Thank you guys, for real. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll continue tonight. So make sure you guys tap in over there. We'll be over there. But I appreciate the super chat. Much love to you. KD says, if the Lakers do bad, who might get flamed next? Look at my grade, my brother. Look at my grade. By the way, good to see you, KD. Look at my grade. It is Rob Pelinka. He gets a summer grade. This is not an overall grade for what he's done for the Lakers. He has helped us to the title, so I can't give him an F minus for his entire stint here. But just this summer, I don't remember the last time that we, again, and there's going to be a treasure trove of excuses, but I don't remember the last time we get basically swept back-to-back by the same team. One was a gentleman's sweep, one was an actual sweep. And we make minimal to no moves. No moves this summer. Outside of re-upping some guys and the draft picks. And the coach. So, got to get an F. He's not going to get saved. And they were very strategic. I noticed that the Lakers were putting out news when the fans would get disgruntled. Oh, we just hired this coach. They would wait till the boiling point was almost at the tipping point, and they would drop the coaching news. Oh, we just hired the first female coach. So they're very intelligent. Shout out to the Lakers. But we see what you're doing, guys. We see what you're doing, and all of that. My guy D Free doing great, brother. Just grading the summer so far. Assuming this is the end of the summer, I might have to redo this video if they end up making a deal before training camp starts. But right now, this is what the grades are, man. Dan, what's your prediction for the season from best case to worst case scenario? Best case scenario is always going to be a championship for the Lakers. That's the golden standard. It might not be a realistic expectations for now, but you never know. If everything, imagine the coaching staff upgrade, which I really like the staff, by the way, is a huge upgrade, and it ends up propelling us out of the Western Conference and into the finals, and anything is possible. But the West is going to be no joke. Teams got better. The Thunder got better. The Mavs got better on paper. We'll see how it looks on the court because they got to make it off lane. A lot of teams got better. And then some teams got worse. The Clippers got worse. Not that they ever were a contender anyways. So there's some teams that got worse. The Nuggets, in my opinion, got worse. They lose KCP after the previous season losing Bruce Brown. That's 2 major wings, right? And so I think they're going to regress. And they actually added Westbrook, which I think is going to be subtraction by addition. So there is that. All right, let's move on to my final grade so far. And that is the direction of the team this offseason. And this is where it gets really interesting, guys. By the way, if you guys are watching from the phone, make sure to double tap, and it hits the like button really quickly. But this is where it gets interesting. Direction of the team this offseason. It got a D+ from me for multiple things, because I think the Lakers are making a grave mistake of not knowing in which direction they're going. Now, it seems to me like, and based on some of these quotes, Jeannie Buss being excited about the young core, they haven't really talked about championships. But LeBron and AD are expecting a championship contention. The coaching staff is expecting championship contention. The fans are expecting championship contention. Yet Jeannie and anybody who's been interviewed has been mentioning that they're excited about the young core. So are we rebuilding? Remember, we hired some coaches and some coaching staff. Yes, hit the like button. Are we rebuilding, or are we competing for a title? And I think that's where the Lakers are in the middle of the crossroad right there. And I don't even think they know what they're doing. They're probably going to try to gauge out the start of the season and then see what they got to do to try to become true contenders by the trade deadline. That's my guess based on what they did this summer. I thought they would go all in, put in all the draft picks, trade chips, try to get another star or some really good role players to go along with LeBron and AD to help propel us forward. They haven't done that. So they're lucky they didn't get an F from me. The only reason I don't get an F because we got a new coaching staff, which is good. That direction of the team improved a little bit by getting a new coaching staff. Might even be bigger than we think, the direction that improves. We re-signed LeBron, which is, it can never be bad. You get a megastar like that coming back, you have to put yourself in the conversation of Western Conference title contender. AD looked phenomenal on Team USA with LeBron, and they stayed healthy, so that was a major plus. Rui looked great, so that's a major plus. And again, looks like we got some good draft picks, especially Dalton Connect, who might contribute this season. So direction of the offseason is a D+, because it's inconclusive for now. We don't know which way we're trending. Are we trying to become a title contender and are willing to sacrifice and trade anything? Or are we trying to rebuild while keeping LeBron happy enough just to keep him happy? Like, which one is it, right? And I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys grade the direction of the offseason that the Lakers have taken so far? These are my grades. And I'll give you guys one rounded out grade for the entire offseason right after this one. Let's see. I'll read a couple of questions. Let's see. Dan, how do you feel about Jalen Hood-Schifino? He was actually playable. It would solve a lot of Lakers' problems. Well, actually, I don't put too much stock in Jalen Hood-Schifino because from the same thing with Bronny. From the moment we drafted these guys, we said they were going to be project players, which means they're not expecting much from them. It'd be nice if they got something from them. Now, as far as your second part of your question, you think it would solve a lot of Lakers' problems? The biggest Lakers' problems for me are at the center position, right? Anytime we go up against the Sabonises of the world, the Jokic's of the world, we really struggle severely. So I think that's still a lingering problem. And that's one of the main reasons I gave the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, and the offseason such a low grade, is that we haven't solved a lot of the issues or some of the issues that we had the previous couple of seasons, which led us to not being able to get over the hump and not being able to get past Denver. Because let's be honest, if we get past Denver, we probably win the championship a couple of seasons ago. That's number one. Number two, we were in every single game in both series, both years. So it shows you that we weren't that far away. There's a couple of things that we need to tweak, which is why I'm excited for this season, because we're really not that far away. The Lakers figure it out and make the right trade for, like, let's say, like a Walker Kessler type player or somebody like that. And we're going to be good. We're going to be great, right? But it's a big if, because Rob Pelinka hasn't been able to figure out. He keeps talking about he's waiting for the right deal, waiting for the right deal. Listen, LeBron James and AD's prime are going to walk out that door waiting for that right deal. So there is a certain sense of urgency, and I'm sure LeBron's going to apply it. I'm sure eventually LeBron will apply it for surely. Now, I want to talk about the overall grade, right? The overall grade for this team this offseason, heading into the next season, right? And it is a D+. That's the overall grade. This whole video, the overall grade of the offseason is a D+. It only nearly missed being an F because we hired a very good coaching staff, and it looks like we did really good in the draft. And that's it. But my expectations were a lot higher, especially after losing to the Denver Nuggets. If you guys remember, if you go back and watch what I expect to happen this summer versus what has happened now, guys, the expectations weren't even halfway met. After getting gentlemen swept, there should have been moves. I'm not saying just anything just to make it happen, but the right moves. It's not like the team is too far away. So this offseason gets an overall D+ from me. Could have got higher if they would have made at least a trade or made some roster space and ended up signing somebody decent this offseason, like Jonas Valanciunas or something like that. It would have been a lot higher. Another big body to help combat down low in the paint. So, yeah. Appreciate you, Kimiko. Thank you for posting. Yes, we'll be on live tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time. You guys are interested in some of that, go tap in. Also on Primetime TV. Dan, I already read that one to see. Dan, do you mind us being mediocre for a year or two, but then acquire Curry to win multiple rings? That's not what the Lakers brand is about. We don't punt seasons, my guy, because nothing's guaranteed. Circumstances change all the time. You know what I mean? Circumstances change, unfortunately, and because they change, you can't just sit here. Look what the Knicks used to do. That's what they used to do. They used to sit here, and they used to procrastinate and hope that a player or a franchise saver would come to their franchise and save them, and it never happened. And finally, they hired Leon Rose, and he starts doing things, and now look at them. Now they're an actual contender out east, which is something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime, them being my second favorite team in the NBA. So let's see here. We win championships and break the team up, a play-in team last season, and do nothing, make it make sense. This is why the direction of the team was so confusing to me right now, Dennis. It is very confusing. I got to keep it honest with you guys. I'm excited about the next season. Of course, we still got LeBron. We still got AD, Austin Reeves, Rui coming back. Guys are going to step up. We got a new coaching staff. We're most likely going to improve. But how much is that improvement? Is it good enough to get you out of the West and even compete for a title? Because if it's not enough improvement. The golden standard is still a championship. Anything short of an NBA Finals appearance is a huge disappointment every single year. And that might not be a fair expectation, but Rob knew when he took the job, and he said, I don't just want to compete for one title. He said this after winning 2020. So he hasn't lived up to it, and it's been disappointment. I thought we were going up after that 2020 championship, and instead, what happens? We flip the team over, and we fix what it wasn't broke. So Rob Pelinka should be on the hot seat if he doesn't get things right this season. And I'm sure LeBron will be disgruntled. This is why LeBron continues to apply pressure on the front office. We drafted his son due to said pressure just to appease him a little bit. But if we start losing, just like last year, you're going to see stuff happen. And again, back to the Curry rumors, because as you guys can see, Steph Curry just signed an extension. And Golden State Warrior fans are singing their praises and saying he's a Warrior for life. They'd like to think that. Now, Golden State Warrior Steph Curry has agreed to a 1-year, $62 million extension that will keep him under contract through 2026, 2027, according to his agent, Jeff Austin of the Octagon, tells ESPN, Wojnarowski. Here's the thing about that. You guys go back and watch my video, the one I made, and my theory about why I didn't think he would get traded this year, and most likely in the summer is when we will revisit the conversations, assuming the Warriors stink it up, is because right now, having Curry on the Warriors is like having a Lamborghini parked in a trailer home. It's just not a good look for him, for his brand, especially if they stink. And if anything, to me, them giving him this extension is to quiet down the noise and the rumors. That must mean there must have been some chatter that already happened, if you read the tea leaves. So again, my prediction remains, I'll say there will be a chance of Curry leaving the Warriors and the Lakers getting involved if they stink this year, especially if they miss the playoffs again. No matter of the contract extension or not, no matter how expensive that is, Where there's a will, there's a way. They'll get it done. Go back and watch my video. You'll see exactly what I said needs to happen in order for Curry to truly become available. It is a long shot, but there's a shot, right? All right, let's read more comments here. My guy, the one-on-one podcast says, I'd hate to say it, Boston is going up and we're going down. You see, Boston brought back the same team after winning a championship, and we won a championship in 2020, and we did not. If it ain't broke, don't, and I'll finish it for you, bro, fix it. Yes, absolutely. So here's what I'll say about that. And this is what I do love about basketball. I never get too discouraged because I've seen franchises turn around in 1 year. I've seen a team go from not making the playoffs to winning the championship. I've seen a team go from, oh, the Lakers are going to be irrelevant for years, to all of a sudden landing LeBron, landing AD, and winning a championship. I've seen teams go from Oklahoma City Thunder, they're young, they lost Kevin Durant for nothing. They had to trade Westbrook, they lost this player, they lost that player. So all of a sudden, top of the West again. The beauty of basketball is that a couple of proper moves will put you right at the forefront. Look at the Knicks. They were irrelevant for the last 20 years. And now look at what Leon Rose has done in a couple of years. So, again, Rob Pelinka will be on a hot seat if he doesn't get us going in the right direction this season. He doesn't make the proper moves, the proper acquisitions, the proper buyout market moves, the proper trades by the trade deadline. And we're struggling. He's going to be inept. He's going to be the next fall man, right? Just like the coaches. It's been the coaches the last couple of years, but the one common denominator is Rob Pelinka has hired all those coaches. So who should be the fall man, the ultimate fall man? He's hiring the wrong coaches, making the wrong trades or lack of trades is going to be Rob, man. I'm sorry to say it. I like Rob, but we're looking at you, man. We're looking at you for real. Hey, what's up, Dante? Good to see you, my brother. Watching Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter get busy. I love Shedeur, man. It's too bad my Rams probably won't get a crack at him unless we trade for him. But I think he should be the successor to the Rams quarterback, man. I just do. You know, I'd love to see it. Appreciate you, Kimiko. Yes, that's the second channel. Those of you guys interested, listen, 2K comes out in about 6 days. We'll be streaming a lot on there. I will probably do the first video here just to get people to go on over to my second channel and on playback. So click the link. It's very easy, man, to follow really quick. And I appreciate the support. There's going to be a lot of interesting content coming up, including your boy starting to hoop on camera, y'all. I got clips already, but I need to see a really good demand to drop the videos. Okay, we get a high demand for it. I'll drop some hooping videos for sure. I'll say let's get 500 likes on this video. If we get 500 likes, I'll drop a hooping sesh video that I recently clip that I recently got. So let's see how many people want to see it. Hey, what up, Striker? Good to see you, girl. Good to see you as always. Oh, of course, man. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, brother. And thank you guys. Thank you so much, Striker, for the super chat. I appreciate it for sure. Appreciate the love, guys. You guys have any questions? I'm here for you guys for about the next 30 minutes or so. Also want to talk about a couple of other topics, man. And let's start with this one. And that is my man, Bronny James, getting in the lab. All right. Apparently, him and Dalton have been putting in that work early, man. You love to see it. You love to see it. There's a lot of high praise coming for these rooks and a lot of excitement coming for these rooks. Matter of fact, not only that, but recently there was a clip, right? Bronny James hooping, y'all. Hooping. Like, check this out. And I said this, and I'll stand by it. If he ever gets a consistent face-up game, watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because this kid, he's got a motor. He seems to have a passion for the game that I haven't seen too many rich kids have, right? But he has a high defensive intensity and a high IQ on the defensive end. If he puts it together offensively, look, his jump shot looks nice. He's going up against THT too, by the way. NBA talent. And a very solid defender, might I add. Right? And the form looks fluid. I mean, he's been putting in work. So you got to commend the young buck, man. If you're excited for Bronny James this season, drop the fire emojis in the chat. Or matter of fact, hit the like button. Okay? Because this kid right here, he's got the tools to be a very good role player, maybe more. But most likely he won't see the court this season as much. But I do know that if he gets an opportunity, he needs to maximize his opportunities, right? So you love to see the kid in the gym doing work like this, going up against some NBA talent. And look at this. The athleticism is there. He's got his daddy's genes there. The motor is there, all of it. All he needs now to do is to put it together, fam. Because if he puts it together, it's going to be extremely dangerous. And it makes me very excited, especially for Dalton. I'm very excited for Dalton. Hey, what's up, man? I'm good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hope to see you guys later on playback. All right, my guy said, all we got is a kid who averaged 5 points in a bad college team and a podcaster for a coach. Anything higher than AD is delusional. Well, I already gave my grades, my guy, but we did get Dalton Connect. And Dalton Connect is a beast. So that's not all we got. Let's keep it real. And we did upgrade the coaching staff for sure. Now, podcaster for a coach, that's a little rough. That's a little reaching on that side. It's fun to say just for fun, but let's keep it real. JJ Redick has a lot of extensive NBA knowledge. He's a player. He's a color commentator. His job is to analyze the game through and through. And everything I've heard about him has been positive. On top of that, you completely just you went over the fact that we got 2 really good assistant coaches that individually each would have been a good coaching hire for a head coach, which means that the coaching position as a whole is fortified. I feel safe right now about our coach and our coaching staff. I feel pretty good, matter of fact. The only thing I didn't like is obviously we let go of Phil Handy. This guy's a legend. I wish we didn't let him go. Then we would have got a higher grade for the coaching staff. But outside of that, and they're really focusing on player development. So I agree with you for now. However, that can develop in the future. All right. If we stay healthy, we made it to the Western Conference with essentially the same team. Although the West has changed and it gets tougher every year. But we made it with essentially the same team. We did lose Taurean Prince, which I think was a pretty sizable loss. But again, hopefully the addition of Dalton Connect offsets that and we get similar production off the bench. Hopefully. What's good, bro? Dan, these teams went crazy asking price wings. Why are teams asking 2 firsts for Kuz and Grant? They are not worth it. Because they smell the desperation that we have to improve. They see what LeBron has did in the Olympics and AD, and they know we're a piece or 2 away from becoming a true contender. They know this. Nobody's going to want to give that away. So they're going to ask for a lot. The question is, the Lakers, will they make the right decision? And will they pay the price? Because there's a high risk. What happens, here's a scenario. Let's say Jeremy Grant. Let's say he was the missing piece and he leads us out of the West. We give up the 2 first-round picks. But we got out of the West due to Jeremy Grant's versatility at the wing position to add to the depth that we already had. You don't think that's worth it, getting to the finals? I would trade 2 first-round picks just to get to the finals. Because in the finals, all bets are off. You got LeBron James. He's got tremendous experience. Who's been to the finals in the NBA today as much as LeBron? Nobody. So it tells you that you get that man to the finals, anything can happen. AD too. Right? They can step it up and just go crazy. And then the coaching staff, again, experienced. But there's a flip side to that coin, and Rob Pelinka knows, and I think he's scared. But remember this, scared money don't make money, right? The famous quote. The famous cliche. Scared money don't make money. So if you're scared to make the decisions and you end up doing nothing, the outcome is going to be nothing. Sometimes you got to gamble. And yeah, what if you trade for Jeremy Grant? We don't come out of the West. Jeremy gets injured. Rob Pelinka for sure gets fired. For sure, because it's his second bad trade after the Russell Westbrook trade that'll set us back a couple years in the rebuild process. But I think the Lakers, and this has always been my criticism, it's going to be really hard to have our cake and to eat it too. It's going to be hard. To rebuild and win a championship at the same time, it has to be like the perfect combination of chemistry, coaching, and health with star power and the role players all stepping up. All 5 of those things have to go well to achieve that. And I see it as a really hard thing to do. I would love it. You guys know I love young talent. I'm very patient with young players. But the truth of the matter is it's going to be extremely hard to find the right trade, first and foremost. And 2, if you don't find the right trade, to win with your current roster and go all the way. Can it happen? Sure. I don't put anything out of the realm of possibility. LeBron James might be rejuvenated and motivated by having his son on the team. You got a family member with you, you're going to want to perform even harder. First of all, to make them proud. And secondly, to help them elevate themselves as well and show them the way to do it. You know, what LeBron is going to try to do is to pass the blueprint down to his son so he can have a long, successful NBA career, right? And so I could see LeBron having a better season, maybe more efficient. Maybe the numbers won't look as high. Maybe he goes from averaging 26 points per game to 24 or something like that. But maybe he's more efficient and it helps us. Maybe he takes a step back and AD takes a step forward and it helps us. Or maybe they both take an equal step forward and they become, Batman and Batman instead of Batman and Robin. Or maybe our role players like Vando end up having that type of an impact on defensive end where it makes everything much easier offensively if we can stay healthy. Maybe Austin Reeves takes a leap. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, possibilities out there. That's the fun part of being a fan. We really never know what we're getting into every season. We hope for the best and we try to read the little signs here and there and to try to predict what can happen. But the truth of the matter is no one knows how the season is going to play out. Best case scenario, we make it to the finals. Worst case scenario, we're a play-in team again. We barely scrape by. We get eliminated first or second round. As a matter of fact, there's a worser case scenario. The worst absolute nightmare doomsday scenario, LeBron James' father time is undefeated, comes knocking at our door this season. LeBron is no longer efficient, offensively at least. He's always going to be a tremendous playmaker. Defensively, he continues to get cooked, and we don't even make the playoffs. That's like nightmare scenario right there, right? So, again, this season could play out any way. Coaching is going to be a major factor in this. The role players, the rookies might even play a factor, especially with Dalton. So again, very excited, nervous, but excited for sure. Thank you, Kimiko, for posting the links. I appreciate that. Look, she's on point, very on point. Thoughts on Maxwell Lewis? He disappointed me in the summer league. He disappointed me as well. I expected him to have a better summer league. He had one great game, and the rest were up and down, mostly down. But this is why I believe the Lakers are hiring a great development coaching system to try to speed up the process of these guys. Because if you can actually turn these guys into some really decent role players, all of a sudden your roster looking a lot deeper. I like Maxwell. He has the tools to be a good, 3-and-D wing. Is he going to become that this year? Most likely not. Is he going to become that in 2 to 3 years? Who knows? But I do like his potential. He hasn't developed, though. He hasn't developed. And that has been a huge issue for the Lakers. So part of the reason why they hired J.J. Redick was to kind of, help in that department. And J.J., again, this is where I struggle to find out what the Lakers' vision is. Do they want to focus more on player development or contention? They might say both, but it's really hard to do both. Really hard. Appreciate you, Kimiko. There you go. We got some excitement for this season. There you go. Dan, Maxwell Lewis is cooked. Didn't see anything good at Summer League. He's still young. Same thing with Jalen Hood-Schifino. People tend to give up on our young players. I don't. I've seen too many times throughout my 30-year NBA fandom, I've seen players be late bloomers. I've seen the Chauncey Billups of the world. I've seen the Julius Randles of the world. I've seen the Brandon Ingrams of the world. Some guys take 3, 4, 5 years to develop. Some come in right away. Like Luka. Right away, they knew the kid was special. Guys like that, man. And then, again, so we got to be patient with youngsters. And this is why I say you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're depending on a Maxwell Lewis, if you're depending on a Dalton Connect, even though he's more experienced, you're depending on a Jalen Hood-Schifino to win a championship, you're not going to win a championship. Rookies don't win. Veterans do. And this is why I believe there should be a higher sense of urgency for Rob to get it done. Get whatever it is that he has cooking up, get it done. Stop making excuses. That's not going to get us a championship, right? We're still lacking a big man. We can still lack a more efficient, consistent in the playoff point guard instead of D'Lo, because D'Lo has disappeared in the playoffs time and time again. So we're lacking a couple of things. If we fortify those two positions, or if somebody steps up, let's say Gabe Vincent starts playing like Miami Heat Gabe Vincent, and he ends up overtaking D'Lo. D'Lo becomes tradable, and you can flip D'Lo for an asset or for a big man, whether it's a backup or starting caliber big. You would solve 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Again, the season can go any direction, but we got to hope for the best and expect a little bit of the worst, because there's going to be a learning curve for JJ. There's going to be a learning curve for the rookies and some of the role players. The good news is we have already a couple of seasons under our belt together, and I'm talking LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Vanderbilt. there's a couple of years under their belt, so that's gonna definitely help speed up the learning curve for a coach like JJ. But at the same time, there's gonna be bumps along the ride, and if you guys look at my schedule breakdown, I actually like the schedule, but there's gonna be some early turbulence early on. We're gonna be battle tested. First game of the year is versus Minnesota, so. Casey says, do you like the 43.5 wins prediction for the season? No. I want to be closer to 50. I don't like that prediction at all. If we end up winning 43 games, playing tournament game if we're lucky. Right? Playing, like, I don't want that. We need to be a top 5 seed in the West. That's what I expect. I would prefer a top 4 so we can have home court advantage the first round, but top 5, I'd be okay with. Anything below that is going to be a disappointment for me personally. Because people keep lowering the bar, but we have AD and we have LeBron James. As long as you have those two, the bar is going to be raised. Now, we might not have the right role players to go around them, but that's where the front office has to come in, right? I agree, Savage, but I just used it as an example, right? I'm using that trade because that's been rumored as an example, right? Rob Pelinka might be scared, like I said, to make a deal, but scared money doesn't make money. Reeves and Rui really going to have to break out this season. And I have a feeling one of the two will, if not both. They both have the potential to do it, but they have to kind of find themselves within their role. We don't know yet. And I can't wait to break it all down preseason. We don't know what roles each player is going to be defined. What roles is Austin going to have? Is he still starting or is he coming off the bench? What role is Max Christie having? What role is Rui having? What role is Vando going to have? All these role players, question marks all over. That's what makes it really fun to pretty much break down the season. If you guys already haven't, please subscribe because I got you guys covered from end to end all year long. So stay tuned. I cannot wait for the season to tip off, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. All these new developments. Again, everything's new. Yeah, that would, you know what? It would really help if my man Anthony Davis got his jumper going again, because I honestly don't understand where it went. Like, where did he shoot the clip? Where did it go? Right? Like, I honestly don't understand where it went, but if they can get right, that would be amazing. Because got a long ways to go, man, with the floor spacing. Defenses wouldn't be able to clog the paint the way they do, right? I don't have high expectations to this team, Dan. We're cooked. I wouldn't say we're cooked, but I feel like we're in a middle of the road team, which I don't like being that. I want to be a more defined team, and maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're both wrong. Maybe we'll be a great team, and maybe this is the year that finally AD takes puts his best foot forward, and he plays to the level of like a Giannis. But we're gonna need more than AD and LeBron, a lot more. So again, we're counting on a lot of things in order for us. Like, there's nothing surefire with our roster right now, and I still think there's gonna be a move made. It has to be before the trade deadline. Like, it has to be from here to the trade deadline. I'm sure we're going to be lacking something. I could already see a couple of holes, gaping holes in our team. If we can address those, I will feel a lot more confident about our chances, and I can give you guys a better prediction about this team. Right now, this team is a big question mark. Big question mark. It could start off really good out of the gates or really slow. We don't know. Coaching is going to determine a lot of it. Appreciate you, Kimiko. Jalen Hushafino needs to develop. He's a 6'6" guard who can play defense, would help, and make D'Lo and Gabe expendable. I would love to have this kid right here. I really would. Like, I'd love to have him. But here's the problem, right? The problem is that when we drafted him, fam, we didn't draft him for him to become a contributor right away. We did not, sadly. And so as far as that goes, if we draft somebody and we don't expect them to be a contributor, anything he gives you is basically like a bonus. It's kind of like when you go to the courts and you pick up a random, you don't know anything about his game. You're not expecting much. Versus if you pick up somebody you already know his game, you know what to expect, right? So, like that. Yes, sir. Going to be on playback at 9 p.m. Pacific time, both on playback and on prime time, doing some more X Defiant. Maybe some Madden before that. We'll see. I got a couple things to do, man. Been busy, KD. That's why I didn't go on yesterday or the day before. But we'll see. If we get a chance, definitely will, my guy. Tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific. Now, Joe, there's teams out there that know the Lakers always draft extremely well, and they see potential in these young guys and they want to capitalize. So yeah, there's a chance that could happen. But I really hope we hold on to most of our young core because I want to see what they can do with this new staff. And if those guys can develop our players, then we might be in for a real special treat with a lot of these guys, right? We have a lot of good things going with our roster. We do. I don't want to say just sit here and be super negative. I'm just grading the offseason based on what the expectations have been and where I wanted it to be versus where it is now, right? So overall, yeah, this offseason, I have to give it a D+. And that's me being generous. I could have easily went F, but I'm looking at the positive things, right? Like Dalton acquisition, the draft, right? Obviously, the new coaching staff. I'm looking at the good things here. And some people won't look at all the positives, right? So yeah, appreciate you, my guy. Thank you. But yeah, guys, I think that wraps it up for us. Before I go though, again, I look forward to coverage coming up, starting with next month, especially when we get more news coming out of training camp and stuff like that. And then October, your boy's about to get busy both on here, primetime, and playback. So make sure if you already haven't followed on any of those platforms, make sure you do. Also, I'm thinking tomorrow, I don't know if you guys would be interested, but the Fever play the Sky. I'm a big Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese fan. So those games always get intense. I might cover that on playback. I think that one tips off at 4 or 4:30. So make sure if you guys are interested in that, go tap in there. Again, playback is a new place where you can watch all kinds of sports, especially the Lakers together. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. So again, thank you guys so much. This video is brought to you guys and sponsored by Prize Picks. So shout out to my sponsorship, Prize Picks. Big things coming up ahead. Big promotions, starting with this one right here. Deposit $5 to $10, get $50 instantly when you play promo code DTLF. So make sure you guys do show love, man. Prize Picks been showing mad love. Again, appreciate you guys. A lot more content coming, man. Much love to you guys. And I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Peace out.